graph of the U?
Well, now this one's going to be up because there's no negative in front, right?
Yep, yep. Now,
and I got my 16.
So it gives me a cursor, right? You got your 16 as your y-intercept.
It needs 2 points or just need 3 points?
It still needs 2 points. So just like a line, it needs 2 points to graph. So I went to 16 because I know 16 is one of my points, my y-intercept. But what happens with that point?
It turns into...
What did it do to 16?
It anchored the vertex there.
Right. It thinks that's the vertex. Okay? So what happens with the U on the graph is that the first point you click on, it thinks is the vertex. Okay? So if you want to graph it, then the first point you click on needs to be the vertex. So before I do anything here, you want to find the vertex first. Okay, so you want to click on the parabola tool, which is the U. First point must be the vertex because it is operating on the assumption that the first point you click on is the vertex. Okay, so you need to be prepared with finding the vertex before you start trying to graph. Okay, so on that problem, was that 14? Go ahead and find your vertex. Find your vertex for your numbers.
So you're saying when we're doing our graphing, the first point that we want to graph has to be the vertex?
Yes, the first point you click on must be the vertex because it thinks it's the vertex. If you want your graph to look right, you need to click on the vertex first. Yes, that's a good question. Since it's just x squared, what would my a be?
1.
My a is 1. It's 1x squared. Okay? So on here, my b is 8. So my negative b over 2a would be negative 8 over 2 times 1. Negative 8 over 2, which is negative 4. Okay, and then my y value is going to be 0. And I just know it's 0 because I already worked it out. I didn't just magically land it on 0. Also, I've done this problem about 5,000 times, maybe?
Wow.
Okay, so my vertex is negative 4, 0.
That's weird.
Okay, that'll be the first point I click on. Now you need a second point. The second point can be any other point on the parabola. So yeah, you can look at a table or make a table to find a second point. What is the easiest second point to use? The y-intercept. Okay? Now, on the examples, you'll see them doing all this crazy stuff to find the second point. Like they're plugging in x values, they're trying to factor, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. But the y-intercept is right in front of you, so just use it. Okay? be the vertex. Second point can be any other point on the parabola. But you want to use the y-intercept. And how would I write the y-intercept as a point in order pair?
0 y-intercept.
0c. Okay? So you do not have to use the y-intercept as your second point, but that is the easiest thing to do.
Did you get this far where you select to find out what x and y are? First one?
Yeah, yeah, I did. I got it here, I got it marked. Oh, wait a minute, did it?
She just now, I think she just now moved on, but, so you'll select for your x and
Okay, so
y.
my vertex was -4, 0. My
Here's
y-intercept
minus 4.
would be c of 16 on mine, so 0, 16. Okay? So I'm going to click on the vertex first as my first point. It'll make that the vertex. And then I'm going to click on the y-intercept as my second point. Okay, so I click on the vertical parabola tool, the U shape. Click on the vertex first, -4, 0. Again, watch your coordinates in the corner. And 0, 16.
Okay, now, will you do that one again?
You mean graph it again or start over with completely different numbers?
No, graph it, show, from your, you had a -4.
Okay, so I'm going to click on the parabola tool first, the U shape. Okay, and then it actually prompts me to click on the vertex first. So my vertex was -4, 0. That's right here. So I take the cursor to my vertex and click.
Okay, that's what I was doing wrong.
Okay? And then I take the cursor to my second point, which was my y-intercept, and click. And that automatically draws the parabola for me.
Let's do question 15 next.
Question 15?
Yeah.
You guys finish 13? Was that 13 or 14?
It was 14.
Yeah, the one we just did was 14, right?
So, my y is 0 here.
The x is negative.
And
The ax is negative, so I'm curious what happens.
But in order to graph the parabola, you have to have a second point. Which that means that you would be, right?
Yes, that was your A question. Now,
That's your first point.
on the utility.
And then the
Now,
second point would be.
guys, take it,
y=2.
listen to this for a second. If you mess up and you get the wrong point, sometimes it'll look like you're trying to graph a point that's not on the graph that they give you. Like sometimes people will call me over and say, I got this from my vertex and it's not on the grid that they show me. That will never happen. Okay? So if you get like your x coordinate is 40 or something here and mine only goes up to 20, I know that's wrong. Okay? Now that seems obvious now, but it happens a lot. So you should be getting points that are on the graph.
I have a hard time graphing because I can't see the number, and
Are you making it as big as you can with the magnifying glass? But if you're making it as big as you can,
or I'm not sure how, I'm graphing all wrong. And I just did, with this one I graphed it all wrong, so.
Alright, let's try another one here, number 15.
Okay.
So say you come out with a negative x value. Would that become then a positive?
Hold on, let me see what you're talking about here. So my A is -1, my B is -80. Okay? So for my vertex, my x, I'm using -b/2a,
2.
I get 80 over negative 2 is negative 40. Alright. Now what was your question about that? You're saying do I make it positive like I would in the vertex form?
Yes, I mean...
No, this is standard form. Vertex form is separate.
So...
Vertex form would only apply when they give you an equation for vertex form and you just want to find the vertex.
How would I work this out? Because I have a negative...
Make sure yours isn't a negative.
I have a negative 1x, so actually what I have.
Always be looking out for that.
Never mind. I was thinking it as negative x. That was already a negative. How did that work? But it's actually negative 1 times
This
x.
is going to be
Yes.
1. You're just going to assume it's
Negative 1 is
negative 1
coefficient.
x squared.
Oh.
No, because you're, this is going to go on top.
You didn't think of that?
This is the one that goes on top. Oh, there. Remember you have, it's negative b over 2a. So your negative b will be negative 40. So you have negative 40 over 2a. This is your a. The number in front of that is a. Number a, b,
Most parts. No, equation this way.
a is going to be that understood one.
Now guys, be careful when you're plugging in your negative 40 or your x value. I need negative 40 squared. I need negative 40 in parentheses, but also the negative x squared, the negative 40 does not reflect that negative in front. Okay? The negative in front means negative 40 is x, so I'd square that, but then negative x squared means I still need that negative in front. Okay, so only the x gets replaced by the negative 40, not the negative in front should still be there. It's really like 3 negatives. Okay, so make sure you put that negative in front of your parentheses when you're plugging it in.
I don't know, I just got confused.
Yeah, I end up with 3,200 on mine.
I got 2,600.
I'm really confused.
How do you enter that into that?
I'm confused. Okay, so I took the x squared. Now I don't include this in, so I don't
No,
make
no,
this.
that is a is negative
Oh, I'm sorry.
1, so you should have a negative
Here
1
is what
here. Negative b would be negative 8, would be positive 80, but then a is negative 1, so this should be negative 1.
And how do you put that in?
Okay, gotcha.
Negative, parentheses, negative 40, and then raised to the second power. No. You want to do it all at once. Okay, and then minus 80 times negative 40 in parentheses, plus 1,600.
Now, if this is going to be squared, it's always going to end up being positive anyway, right?
Okay, but how do you get, okay, this number right here, this BA, I've got a negative 40.
Oh, you just work it out. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. And then you do 40, or negative 80, or 40 divided by negative 2. Now this negative b, if b is already negative, then negative b should be positive 40.
So this would be
40 divided by negative 2 is negative 20.
So negative 20 is my x. This is the x.
I don't think you plugged this in right. Look at how I wrote it up here. That's how you need to plug it in. So you got negative x squared. X squared is negative 40 squared. The negative x squared, that negative should still be in front.
Okay.
Is this a negative or just a regular number?
He's texting me, he's like, are you done yet? I have a swim. But see, he's not allowed to swim.
Would that
He
be
knows
just
it.
a regular
I
fire
don't swim with
department
Murphy
preventing
there.
like that?
And she'll bring him on.
I know, I'm so confused. What I
What
don't understand is,
And then
I've
I did.
already, I've started with negative X squared, right? So I assume
my
it's
dad's
negative
done.
1. I've already
So
plugged that
that
in
I can actually
to get this negative 40, right?
a little bit of time.
Second point.
So,
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Says right there, second point.
how
I'll
can
try to
you
get it
have
all done.
negative
If I can
40?
get it
I've
all
already
done.
used
Well,
up this
Yeah.
negative.
I just need
No,
That's what I'm confused
it's
about.
still an X.
like
That's your
yesterday.
blackboard instead of your
See,
version.
you
was
were
up and
coming
down the
back in and
stairs,
you're
like, 'cause
plugging
my
this number
room's
back
down.
into that X
So I was
spot.
up and down
Oh,
the
okay,
stairs
yeah, I
looking at
understand.
mine, but like, doing laundry and folding and putting it away, taking it upstairs,
Y is
that
0,
kind of deal.
X is 0.
And
Your X would be 0, your Y would
so
be 0.
by the time I got done doing that and then trying to do math some of it,
Your calves are so you're tired, you're wore
I
out.
was like,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I just need to keep it,
totally
like,
wore
in
out.
parentheses.
Where normally I get done and I'm like mentally just
Square
fatigued.
negative 40 is
My
going to be
body's like
positive
ready to
18.
run a marathon, you know what I mean? But I'm like,
You are
I have
totally,
to,
bro, mentally and physically.
last night it was, yeah. Oh, you should
Yeah,
see. I'm
negative.
surprised I'm not sitting there. I'm going like this. I'm like, my husband was like, can I have pop? I'm like, no. I am not drinking Coke or anything in months. I don't want nothing. He was like, not even cup of coffee? And I'm like, no.
When calls come up, just leave me alone.
Oh, I know. This morning I just said. Yeah, no. I want to bad. That bad? Yeah, I'll be really bad.
You guys get 15? Work on
Yes.
16?
I'm I'm trying.
We just so let's start with something. I'm sorry, I'm still on caffeine right now. I don't make sense to myself.
You get the graph?
That's not right.
They're positive numbers.
Let
They're
me
positive
see
numbers. Divided negative 5 on Y? We would have been on the last whatever.
Oh, I remember this. Remember Charles Parkland's way?
He's just skinny.
I don't get any of this. I'm so
I just
confused
remember
about
that.
positives
That makes
and
it so much
negatives.
easier.
I'm getting 3,400 and I don't have
I
3,400
tried.
in my bank.
Well, this time I wasn't trying.
It's 3,200.
Yeah. Okay.
She
No,
said once you get
I'm
here,
looking mine.
look, she said once you get there, you take it all the way across. Don't stop and do it separate.
Down to the negative 16. Right?
And yours is the same as hers up there, so you should have a 3,200.
No, mine's 1,800 here.
Yeah, I didn't see the negative. I didn't see that. I think that's
No, it's bigger.
wow.
You're
So your 3,400 is
But
probably
it's not on here.
Oh, okay.
no. I don't understand how to graph it. There's my
And then
vertex,
I
right?
go back here and it's negative 18.
Is this considered your vertex?
Yeah, but it's not on there. That's the problem.
So write down that, and then start by squaring negative 40.
Zero,
And then
an X is
solve
zero.
for
I
y,
didn't
and then finally add
square
y.
that. That's what I did.
I'm getting it.
I guess you are.
I'm getting better.
There you are. You
How
It's
many
only one
problems, how many
question.
problems you got? 30? Wow.
That's better than 30 for me and 35.
You know what? You're right. That's a good way of thinking about it.
How many times have we gotten that married?
I know. You should see the amount of paper I used last night.
Oh,
Between the
gosh.
homework and the taking the quiz like 4 times, I used almost a whole notebook.
I used.
Plug in A or B, you're done with A or
Yes.
B.
Let's see. Okay. I was
And then
right.
the y-intercept, and the y-intercept is 1,800. That's C.
That can't be right then.
Okay,
Well, no,
I'm still got here on 15. Everything about my
I think I
account
use
is
this much.
exactly the same as yours except for this
You have
1800.
1800.
So I added in my 1800 rather
should get
than yours
13,400. Yeah.
3400. I don't have that as an
I use
option.
about
Yeah, you
this
do.
much.
Then you got
See, it's going 200, 400, 600, 800.
and then your
So this would be 3,200, 3,400 would be that less.
And I kept getting stuck on it.
It's way up at the top.
Oh,
See, they're jumping up by 200, so that last tick was a
And one, I
3,400.
had the exact same, except this one
Okay,
is like
thank you.
minus
I went off
instead of a
what you
plus
had.
2, and the answer was plus 2. I'm like,
I was even close. I was even closer. The answer was
And it's bad, it's
it said
negative,
put
it
in
has to go
a
down.
No, I think your Y is wrong. Try your Y
because all the
again.
other ones were
Try
put
plus,
in your
plus
fractions
percent
and
again.
decimal. This is put in
Your Y
decimal.
is wrong.
The answer
The 600
was
is wrong.
my
This
answer
problem
was
always
negative
ends up at the point all the way
9/10.
all the way up
It
at the
wanted
top.
negative 0.9.
oh,
So it was the correct answer. It was negative
about
0.9.
26275. And I said 2, yeah, 262. Yeah, 275. I took the 5 off of it.
Alright guys,
Because
it
all
is
the
break
other
time, so if
ones,
you want to take about a 15-minute break
and
and
you
come
had
back
the
at
numbers or whatever,
12:35.
on the 5.
If you want to stay in here and work,
I'm like, really?